Once you say there is a right path and a right decision, you are trying to make a world full of fanatics. There is no right decision in your life. Whatever stupid decision you take, if you put your mind, heart and soul in it and make something out of it, it may turn out into a great thing. Is this the right thing I did? Who is to decide what is the right thing you did? The question is, that's why I said even when it came to education, the question is not about what subject you're studying, you're sitting in class, under the tree, where, but is your student life being spent in a focused way or is it loose? That's a question. So there is no right thing to do, but if you put everything that you have into it, it becomes a great thing to do. So, right decision, right path, the moment you fix those things, we will become fanatical and you will see nobody will be right, everybody will pretend to be right. And that's a world we have created for a long time, it's time to change that.
Questions from the audience, please.
Namaskaram, Sadhguruji. I'm Vrinda. So my question is, how can one spend a balanced time in academics and spirituality, or maybe career and spirituality?
See, anything that you do with your body is connected to time, it takes time. You want to run, you want to walk, you want to do this or that, everything takes time. What you do with your mind also takes time, but not to the same extent enslaved to time. Physically, you know, all these timings, Mr. Bolt runs something in 9 seconds means because body and time are related. Because our sense of body, our sense of time is only because of our body. You don't have to look at your watch to know what is the time. If you observe your bladder, you know how many hours you've been sitting here. I'm saying our sense of time is essentially because of body. We had sense of time even before the watch came, isn't it? Because physical is keeping time, always. How long you can sit here, how long you can walk, how long you can do something, everything is decided by time. Time may be a relative experience at different times. You have seen at a certain time when you're very joyful one day, 24 hours, poof, went like a minute. Another day you're little depressed. Clinically depressed. Then, that one day feels like a whole lifetime. See, when we are very miserable for some reason, that one day… I'm not picking on you, I'm just joking with you. I'll come for counseling. It's okay, right? So, when somebody is very miserable, you will see time just won't roll. So time is a very relative experience, but still it's very directly connected to our body. If we did not have a body, suppose you don't have a body, you sit here for 10,000 years, what's the problem? Isn't it? So when it comes to the mind, it is not as much enslaved to time as your physical body, but mind also has time. But there are dimensions within you which are not related to time. So, this thing about right path, wrong path, all these things largely relates itself to body because it takes time, it takes away life. If you just take a wrong turn, it'll take away life. Maybe you lost half an hour, but you lost not half an hour of time, you lost half an hour of life, isn't it? So when it comes to physical things, we must be little conscious of which turn to take because it takes away our time. Mentally, you can take any turn you want, whichever way you want, because it doesn't take much time. So when you talk about spiritual process, it doesn't take time at all, it's an inner dimension which doesn't relate to time. So your education, you may be studying, you may be running, you may be working, to be spiritual it doesn't take time. Only little initial guidance may take time, afterwards it doesn't consume time because it's not physical in nature.